Everyone, welcome to the HardReset channel, and today I'm going to show you how to make your OPPO A6 Pro 5G faster. So if you want to increase performance on the OPPO A6 Pro 5G, here are a few tips to help with that. And we're going to start with turning on high performance mode. So if you go to settings, then scroll down to battery, and then tap on battery mode. There are a few options that we can select from. So we have high performance mode, balance mode, power saving mode, and super power saving mode. So if you want the performance at a little cost of less battery life, make sure to enable high performance mode. So it will perform at its best, so it will max out all of the performance features, but it may heat up a little, and the battery is going to be lasting a little less. So then we also have the option to clear background apps. So there are apps currently running in the background of your phone, and we might want to disable some of those apps so they don't run in the background of the phone even when you're not using them. And to do that, we're going to scroll down to apps and then tap on app management and select an app that you want to disable. So maybe some app that you don't really need to do background operations. For example, let's do Amazon. And then we're going to tap on battery usage and tap on restrict background activity or enable smart mode. So restrict background activity fully or disables all the features it can. In smart mode, automatically optimizes things. So I'm going to select restrict background activity, and this is this option can be enabled in most of the apps. So you can select pretty much any app, tap on battery usage, and select restrict background activity. And the next thing that we should do is to uninstall or disable bloatware. And what bloatware is just apps that come with your phone that aren't really official apps, but third-party apps. So I have these apps installed like Bridge Race, Weather24, Lady Shops, a whole folder with must-play apps, and these are bloatware because these aren't necessarily coming with the phone, so they aren't necessarily official. They're just third-party apps that came with your phone. So make sure to delete those by going to the home screen, tapping and holding on the app icon that you want to delete, and then selecting uninstall. So just make sure to uninstall as many bloatware apps as you can, and that should free up some of the space on your phone and make the performance better. The next feature that you might want to enable is removing animations. So this is a big or pretty big performance boost that makes your phone feel much faster. And there are a few steps we're going to need to do before actually enabling this setting. And the first thing that we're going to do is open up the settings, then scroll down to About Device, then tap on Version, find version number, and then just tap on the icon until a passcode option appears. So you're going to keep tapping until it asks you to enter a passcode. And once you enter the passcode, you're going to enable developer mode. And developer mode just opens up a few hidden settings that aren't really available without it. So now that it's enabled, we're going to go back to the main settings menu, tap the search bar, and type in animation. So once we tap in animation, we're going to scroll down to System and Update and tap on Window Animation Scale, and then tap on it again and select either 0.5x or off. And this disables or makes the animations faster. So then we are also going to do the same thing to Transition Animation Scale and Animator Duration Scale. And now all of the animations are going to be twice as fast and this will make your phone feel much faster. And this option will also work well with the refresh rate, fast refresh rate that comes with this phone. So we can have up to 120 Hz, and to enable 120 Hz on our phone, we're going to go once again to the main settings menu, tap on display and brightness, and then scroll down to screen refresh rate, and either enable auto select, so it selects the refresh rate for you depending on the battery, or enable high, so it's always locked to 120 Hz and makes your phone much smoother. So this is how you enable the 120 Hz mode. And the next thing that you could try to increase performance even further is to check for software updates. So if your phone is up to date, it's going to run at its best. And to check for software updates, we're going to go back to the main settings menu, scroll down to System and Update, tap on it, and then tap on Software Update. So here it's going to check whether your version is up to date or not. Mine is up to date, as you can see, but if yours isn't, make sure to update it and follow the guide to do so. And once you're done, this will also help with the performance. And that is pretty much it. So I hope this helps you increase your performance. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe. Hello everyone, welcome to the HardReset channel, and today I'm going to show you how to improve gaming performance on the OPPO A6 Pro 5G. So to improve gaming performance, the first thing that we're going to do is enable performance boost. And to do that, we're going to go to settings, then scroll down to battery, then tap on battery mode, and here we're going to enable high performance mode. And this will boost the performance and your device will work at its best, but that might mean that the battery is going to drain faster and the phone might warm up, but that's usually what happens with gaming anyways. So it's not really anything to worry about while gaming. And the next thing that we can try is going to the Games app on our phone. It looks something like this. And we can check what games are optimized for our phone. So we can either go to Instant Games to look up games. Explore does pretty much the same thing. Or you can tap My Games to see what games that you have already installed in your device, which of those games are optimized at their best and like compatible with your phone. And we can try out Asphalt, so I have it downloaded on my phone. If we launch Asphalt, what you'll notice is there's a thing called Game Engine that's launched. And to access it, we need to find this little notch, like this little notch right here that appears on the screen, and we need to drag it out like this. And there are a few options that you can play around with. So you have the same performance modes that you can change. So you have low power mode, balance mode, and then pro gamer mode. You can change the brightness. You can do game focus modes for like notifications. And then you also have bypass charging, which means that it's not going to limit any charging and it's going to keep your phone charged pretty much at the cost of it maybe heating up. You also have touch optimization, quick startup, voice changers, and some things to play around with in the settings. And that's how you get the best performance on your phone pretty much. So that's about it. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helps you, and make sure to like and subscribe.
Welcome, in front of me I have OPPO A6 Pro 5G, and I'm gonna show you how to set up private save on this phone. Private save is useful if you want to hide your pictures or some of your pictures or videos on your phone. Basically prevent other people to access them, for example, or you want to have some videos or pictures basically protected by password. And to set up the private save, first we need to open the settings. Then we need to go to the security and privacy. Scroll down and tap on private safe. If you don't have the privacy password, you need to set it up. I'm gonna use the simple one, but I recommend to use something more complex. Then we have the recovery questions or email. I'm gonna use the question. And here we have our private safe. As you can see, we can hide images, audio, documents, and other files. And to add the file to the private folder, you simply, I'm gonna take a picture, for example. Okay, and let's say I want to hide these pictures. To do that, we can open the photos. Find the photo you want to hide. You can press and hold on it. And then tap on lock. Or is it more? No, I think it's lock. So we're gonna tap on lock. Okay. And as you can see, the photo will disappear. And to view it, we need to go to locked. And here we have it. You can also do it through the settings. So if you go to settings, private safe, enter the password. And let's say you want to add something, you tap here. Oh no, you tap on the category, then tap on add. We don't have any documents, so images and videos, tap on add. Select the picture you want to add. You can select multiple as well, and then tap on lock. And as you can see, it was added and it will disappear from your phone, and you will be able only to view it if you enter the password. And you can do it for audio, documents, other files as well. Okay. And that's how you set up the private safe on this phone. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel and leaving a like on the video.
In front of me is Oppo A6 Pro, and today I would like to show you how you can apply Apple layout on this Android. Start by opening Play Store and downloading free app called OS Launcher from Launcher Studio Developer. Not sponsored, by the way. When you get it, you don't have to open it now, you can set it up instantly. To do that, you need to hit Settings, scroll to hit Apps section, and tap on Default Apps. Now tap on Home app and to apply Launcher Pro, which is iOS Launcher, tap on it here. Then wait for the pop-up to show, and when it does, tap on Allow All. So when I do that and wait, I can see that my launcher was successfully applied. To make any changes, you need to open Launcher app and follow the tutorial. Like for example, change your wallpaper to iPhone 1. If you wanna go back to your standard launcher or switch between those two, go back to the same settings and tap on System Launcher. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment and subscribe. Bye!
Hello everybody, welcome to HardReset Pro. Today I'm gonna show you how to use an AI, for example Google Lens and ChatGPT. So first thing, let's try a Google Lens. So basically open up your Google and click on this button right here. And let's take a picture of something. So for example, a computer mouse. And let's see what it says. The image displays a Logitech M100 optical mouse, shopping information, visual matches. You can check products, and it will say a price for it, visual matches. So that's how the Google Lens works. And let's check a ChatGPT now. So you have two options how to use a ChatGPT. The first option is ChatGPT Web. So to access it, go to Google, search, and search for a ChatGPT. Click on the first result. And here you have a ChatGPT, basically. So accept all. And basically you can ask anything you want. So for example, math question. And it will give you an answer. And the last option, how to use a ChatGPT, is basically from an app. So first up, you'll need to open the Play Store to install the ChatGPT app. So search ChatGPT and install it. So this one, not this one. Wait for it to download. And then just open it. Continue, and you can ask whatever you want as well. It can be math questions, all other study questions, cooking questions, health questions. So basically, whatever you want to ask, you can ask. So basically that's it, that's how you use an AI. So thank you for watching and subscribe for more.
Hello everyone, welcome to the HardReset channel, and today I'm going to show you how to make your OPPO A6 Pro 5G faster. So if you want to maximize the performance on your phone to make the most out of it, here are a few tips to do that. And the first one would be to keep about 10 to 15% of your storage freed up. So if you go to settings and then scroll down to about device and then tap on storage, we can see how much storage is used up on our phone. And if your phone storage is filled up to its fullest, so 256 gigabytes, or if you have more, if all of them are filled up, that might make your phone slower, because it has to manage a lot of gigabytes that are used up, and that may slow down your device. So make sure that you just have about 10 to 15% of your storage free, and that will make your phone run better. And now the next thing that we're going to do is limit background apps. So some apps on your phone might be running in the background the whole time, and that also might slow down your phone. So if you want to limit that, we're going to go to apps, and then we're going to go to app management, and just find some of the apps on your phone. So if you tap on them, some of the apps are going to be running in the background. So if we have the manage app if unused option off, we should turn it on for all of the apps, or at least most of the apps, so that when the apps aren't used, they're going to be limited, so they won't use up as much of the performance. So this is how you do that. You can do that with pretty much any app in your phone. As you can see, manage app if unused, make sure that that is enabled in all of the apps. Then we also have the RAM expansion. So this phone has a feature which is called RAM expansion, and it basically assigns some of the normal storage to RAM. And if we scroll down to about device, tap on that, and then scroll down to RAM and tap on it, you can see that it uses total 8 gigabytes, and then it's added 8 gigabytes. So RAM expansion is enabled, and as you can see, you can expand by 8 gigabytes. but keep in mind that you need this space on your phone. So make sure that you have at least 8 additional gigabytes if you're adding them to your RAM. Then we also have the option to reduce or disable animations. So if we go to the search and look up animation, we have a bunch of options. So we have something like fingerprint animations, app animation speed, fingerprint animation sound, and remove animations. So just make sure to play around with these settings and make sure to limit some animations if you want that. So as you can see right now, the apps don't open, for example, with animations. They just straight up appear on your screen. And if we disable that, as you can see, there is a little animation that plays. So if you want even more performance, make sure to enable that. And that is pretty much it. So thank you for watching. I hope this video helps you, and make sure to like and subscribe.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to unlock Oppo A6 Pro without password. Okay, but before we begin, we need to discuss a few things. First thing is, please only try to unlock your phone, in no other case someone else's, because that might be considered as a crime, and that's also unethical. Second thing is that we need to perform a factory reset using the recovery mode, and we will lose all of our data. And the third thing is that after the reset, when we get into the setup process, we'll have to verify ourselves, or by typing the screen lock. Of course, we won't be able to do it because we cannot remember it. So we will have to select the second option, which will be logging into Google account. And we will have to log in into the same Google account into which we are logged in on our Oppo before we have performed a factory reset. So remember about it. Okay, if you want to go forward, follow my steps. For now, I have unlocked it because I have just set that password for this video. Now we need to power off our device. Click power button and volume up button and select power off. Okay, now to enter the recovery mode, we need to hold power button and volume down button at the same time. So simply keep holding both buttons until the recovery mode launches. Okay. Now we need to select our language. To move around this menu, you can use the volume keys. If you want to confirm the selected option, simply click the power button, but as you can see, the touchscreen also works. Now select Format Data, type this code, and click on Format. The process has now started. Click on OK. Also, there's a chance that that Google verification won't appear. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I'm just telling you that. I just told you that before we have started, that it might appear. Alright, and now we just need to simply wait until our phone turns on. The next thing that we need to do is to go through the setup process. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
Hello everybody, welcome back to HardReset.Info channel. In today's video, I'll show you how to easily fix the low volume problem on your Oppo A6 Pro. So first, what you guys want to do is adjust the media volume in the settings. So open up the settings app, go to sounds and vibration, and here we have the media volume. As you guys can see, I have it at 300%. So I am using the turbo mode now. As you guys can see, you're now in ultra volume mode. Please consider others nearby when playing audio. So I would recommend you guys adjusting it up to max. So either 100 or 300%. And after that, what you guys want to do is go over to the top and make sure that Do Not Disturb is disabled. because then you will get no sound from notifications, and it can also, in some versions, actually destroy the volume. So you will have the volume problems, like the volume will be lower or just gone. So I would recommend disabling Do Not Disturb mode for the time of testing and then checking out if anything changed. If not, then you can simply turn it back on. What you guys can do next is clean the speaker grills. So we have them at the bottom, close to the charging port. You definitely want to clean them here. If they are stuffed with dirt or debris, then they may not work properly. And after you clean them with a soft brush or air compressor, what you guys can do is restart your phone. So hold the power button and the volume up button. Now swipe up to restart and let go with your finger. Now all you have to do is wait for the phone to turn back on. So I'll see you guys in a second. After the restart, enter the password if you have one, or simply unlock your device. And as a last resort, what you guys can do is update your software to fix any audio glitches. So swipe down until you see System and Update. After that, click on Software Update, and then you will have to see if you have the latest version. It will check automatically. As you guys can see, my version is up to date and no buttons to update my software popped up. So that means I'm good to go. But if you have any updates, then I recommend you guys do them. It's very important. And that's basically it. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, then leave a like, subscription, and a comment. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show the home screen tricks on Oppo A6 Pro. Alright, so let's begin. To launch the customization menu, all we need to do is to hold on an empty space on our home screen just like that, or we can perform that move. Now, in here we can quickly change the wallpaper. Simply tap on that. In here you can pick the wallpaper from that list. If you click on more wallpapers, you'll be able to download more of them. Remember that some of them require a payment. And here we have a whole list, and you can pick the wallpaper that you want. Above, you can select your own wallpaper from your gallery. Simply pick the photo, and also you can create a carousel wallpapers. Alright, next to it we have the icons. We can change their style in here above, and also their shape. You can click on custom and manually select their shape, and also change the foreground. You need to scroll down and you have that bar, and you can move left and right to adjust it. You can also select the icon size, and if you click on Adopt System Colors, you can see that their style has been changed and we have like themed icons. You can also change the app name size. We have that bar, we have 5 positions that we can select. I'll stick to that one. In my case, I don't want those system colors, so I will turn it off. If you click on more, you can download more of those themes. Alright, for now I'll stick to the classic one. And if you want, you can enable Art plus icons, use redesigned icons for third-party apps. It is up to you, do you want to keep it or not. If you want to apply the changes, hit this button down below. Just like that, really easy. Okay, next things are the widgets. First I need to disable the lock layout feature to add a widget. Simply tap on that, and in here you have a list of apps of which you can add a widget. So let's try to add a widget, for example, from YouTube. Under each widget you can see the size. For example, this one is 4:2. Actually, let's add the widget from the YouTube music. As you can see, it has appeared on our home screen. If you grab it on the edge, you can change its size. And if you hold it, you can change its position anywhere that you want on the screen. Really easy thing. If you want to remove it, simply hold and click on Remove Widget. Now let's try to add another one. Or maybe not that one because it's too big. Let's do it in a different way. Maybe this one. I'm wondering about one thing. I need to check it. Okay, unfortunately it's not possible. I was checking, is it possible to simply create a stack of widgets, but it's impossible. But I highly recommend adding your own widgets and, organizing your layout. When it comes to the layout and the home screen itself, we can change the layout right in here. Currently we are using 4:6, but we can also select 5:6. Well, basically when we select that mode, more apps can be placed in one row, but their size is smaller. So you just need to select which mode you want to use. I'll stick to 4:6, then simply hit on apply to save the changes. We can also change the transition effects. In here, if you tap on one of those effects, you can see a preview how it's going to look like. So we have roll, we have the cube, we have the flip, we have the card, and we also have the tilt. Simply select the mode that you would like to use. For now, I'll stick to flip, I'll click on apply, I'll click on done, and you can see that the mode has been successfully selected, and we have flip transition effect. Okay, and on the right side, we have more. Now we can change the home screen style with the drawer or standard one. Currently it's set with the drawer, so when I'm on the home screen, I can slide to the app side to see the app drawer, and in here I'll find all of the apps that are installed on my device. If this mode is turned off, you won't have that drawer and all of your apps will be on your home screen. If you want, you can lock your layout. If this mode is enabled, you won't be able to simply move any app or widgets or basically everything on your home screen because everything will be locked. Sometimes it's good because let's say that we have created our perfect preset and our perfect layout and we don't want to change it by a misclick. So that's the moment when we can lock the layout and nothing wrong will happen by an accident. We also have the icon autofill. It is a pretty cool feature. It works in that way that when we have apps that are close to each other, and now when I will delete one of those apps, let's say the Amazon, the Spotify app will jump into the place where the Amazon app was placed to simply fulfill that gap. That would be created when this mode isn't enabled. You can see that it happened just like I have said. Spotify jumped into the place of the Amazon and that gap has been fulfilled. If you click on more, you can enable the double tap to lock, double tap an empty space on the home screen to lock the screen. Pretty useful thing. It works in that way. We can quickly turn off the screen in that way. If you want, you can keep that enabled. You can also change the app animation speed from the standard, for example, into the enchanted, and you can see the difference that the animation will be much faster than in the standard mode. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to take better photos on your Oppo A6 Pro. Okay, let's open up our camera app, and here I'll show you the things that you can turn on and what things you can use to get the best quality of your photos. Let's begin with the normal photo mode. As you tap on the screen, you'll be able to simply get the focus on the place on the screen that you have just tapped on. Also, as you scroll down, when you have tapped, you're available to increase or decrease the exposure level. So it is really good feature, because let's say that we are in a very well lit environment. It is really, really bright in the place that we are taking a photo. So sometimes it's good to simply tap on the screen and manually decrease the exposure level a little bit. And thanks to that, we'll be able to simply get a better photo and it won't be that bright. Of course, it also works in the opposite situation. When it's really, really dark, we can tap on the screen and increase the exposure level a little bit to simply brighten the photo a little bit so it won't be that dark. So the exposure level is really important, and I highly recommend trying it on your own. Also, as you open up those settings right in here, make sure that the auto HDR is enabled. Thanks to that, we will have the best colors and also the quality. As you open up the settings, you can open up the composition assistance, and you can enable the grid lines. We have the grid, diagonal lines, and the golden spiral. In my personal opinion, the grid is the best. You can now see that the grid appeared on our screen, and thanks to that, we can position our camera in the best way before we take a photo. Let's say I want to take a picture of maybe this plant, and now thanks to that I have enabled the grid, now I know that it's exactly in the middle of the screen, and that's the moment when I should take the photo. And now we can see that it is perfectly in the middle. So grid lines are really, really useful. Of course, if you want, you can try to use that golden spiral or diagonal lines. We also have the level that we can enable. Now you can see that in the middle we have this two crosshairs. Maybe I'll do it in that way, so you'll be able to see it. And now we should position our camera in that way that those we need to make those crosshairs to be at the same place. Now you can see that we have our golden crosshair in the middle. Just like that. And when it changes color into orange, that's like suggestion to us that we are holding our phone on the proper level, and that's the moment when we should take a photo. Okay, as we go to the left side, we have the Pro mode. This feature allows us, this mode actually, allows us to change things such as ISO, shutter speed, exposure value, automatic focus, and also the white balance. As you open up the information button, you can read what each thing does. And also, I highly recommend trying all of those features on your own. You can play with those options, adjust everything manually to get the best effect. So currently I'm changing the shutter speed. In here we have the exposure, we have the focus, and also, for example, the white balance. And you can see how the colors are changing. If you want to restore the defaults, hit this button on the left side. Okay, as we go to the right side, we have under more, we have high resolution mode. In this mode, we have 50 megapixel camera quality. So in that mode, we should take all of our photos. But you need to be aware that in this mode, we are not allowed to zoom. We only have one zoom level, but we can still tap on the screen to get the focus, and we can change the exposure level. When it comes to normal photo mode, we should avoid using high zoom levels, because they will only cause that the quality of the picture will be much worse. So what I highly recommend to do is using 1x or 2x zoom max and simply moving closer to the object physically instead of using the zoom. So simply zoom with your feet and move closer to the object that you want to take a picture of if you want to achieve the best quality. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
Hi everyone, in front of me I've got Oppo A6 Pro, and let me share with you how to clear cache and speed up your device. So let's start with opening the settings, and here we have to scroll and find apps. Then let's tap on App Management, and basically here we've got the list of all apps which are currently installed on this device, and what I highly recommend to do is to go through all of those apps, especially those which you're using frequently, and to remove cache. Cache are junk files which are saved by your device, but they are not necessary for the proper usage of the app. Moreover, they are occupying quite a lot of memory. I mean, if we will sum up all of those apps, then there is a significant part of the memory occupied. So let's open the app, for example Chrome in my case, then go to storage usage, and as you can see here we've got this cache section. So just tap on clear cache. It's really easy, you do not have to confirm anything, your device will immediately remove the cache. And as I said, do it for all of those apps. And after that, after the whole operation, I highly recommend to simply soft reset, or basically power off your device and then power it on again in order to confirm all of the changes. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got Oppo A6 Pro, and let me share with you how to clear storage or free up storage without the need to remove apps. So I highly recommend to start with removing cache. So let's open the settings. Here we have to scroll and find apps, and then go to App Management at the top. So what I highly recommend to do here is to simply go through all of those apps, especially those which you're frequently using, but the best is to go through all of them and to remove cache. So for example, let me go to the camera. After tapping on the app, you have to choose storage usage. And here we've got the section cache. The cache are junk files which are saved by your device, but they are not necessary for the proper usage. Moreover, they will simply occupy a lot of memory. Maybe not from a single app, but if we'll sum them up, then a significant part of the memory is occupied. So simply tap on clear cache and your device will immediately remove it. So as I said, go through all of those apps and remove cache. Another thing which we can do is to use Phone Manager. That's its main purpose, I believe, to simply clean our device. And I highly recommend to do that. So let's find Phone Manager. For sure you've got one because it is pre-installed by the developer. So find it. First of all, you can tap on Optimize. Basically, after scanning your device, will show you this option, so you can do it. You can also go to Clean Up Storage, and it is a really nice option because first of all, you can simply tap on Clean. You can view details, so your device will show you what it will remove. Moreover, under it, you've got the Deep Cleanup section, where you can, for example, enter your photos and remove something, videos, audio, documents, large files, or duplicated files, which usually occupy a lot of memory. So I highly recommend to simply get to this section and really remove some unnecessary files. Moreover, what I highly recommend to do, and what was not listed in the Phone Manager, is to open the downloads, because let's be honest, usually we are downloading a lot of stuff and then we forget about it. But obviously it doesn't disappear, it's still saved in our internal storage. So all you have to do is to find the Phone Manager, and it doesn't, sorry, not Phone Manager, the File Manager. And it doesn't really matter if you will use the files from Google or if you will use something which is provided by your developer. For sure you've got something like that, or maybe not if it is connected with Google. Or if you're using any kind of third-party app, that's okay. Just open your File Manager and find something called Downloads. In my case, I do not have files here, but trust me, for sure you've got something, so just remove those which are not necessary. And the last thing which I would like to discuss, because I will not show you the full path, we've got a separate tutorial of how to enable the backup in this device, how to perform a backup, is actually, yeah, is the backup. I mean, it's really nice option. It has a lot of advantages, but two main advantages, at least in my personal opinion, is that you will have your photos and videos and other data, depends on you. They will be saved in totally another place, which means that if your device is broken, or if it will be lost, or if something's wrong, you will still have, or it was stolen, it will be stolen, still stolen, you will still have the access to your own photos and videos, so you will not lose that data. And the second advantage, the biggest advantage, is that you will be able to simply remove them from your internal storage because they will be saved in another place. And thanks to which you will be able to release some memory without the need to remove apps. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up.
Welcome. In front of me is a OPPO A6 Pro, and today I will show you a couple of tweaks and tricks you can do on this device. So let's get started by opening up our settings, and in here I'm going to begin with wallpaper and style, and this will be a general section where you can just customize the look and the feel of your device. So you can choose themes, which we have some right here, or you can basically create your own by changing all of these options right here. Now I'm going to only talk about a couple of these options right here, not all of them, just because there's plenty of them here. Too much time would be spent to go over them, but we have, for instance, icons. Here you can choose the icon packs, which there are some that come with the device out of the box, but if you download more, they'll show up right here and can change them, along with having the option to just kind of edit how they look like. So you have a little bit more customization behind them, like showing or hiding the names, increasing, decreasing the name, resizing the icon itself, changing the artwork, and obviously you can also create custom kind of look to your icons in general if you want to. Now in here we also have the colors, which are these kind of accent colors that you can see right here, and you can change them to have the coastal, whatever that is. It's basically a default option, I guess. It probably would be the, even though I'm kind of confused by this, the name, the option is just the default one. But we have the option to also change these colors based on the wallpaper. And holy shit, is my wallpaper blend as hell, considering these are all the colors that I have, which all of them seem to be the shade of the same thing. Which I guess makes sense considering this wallpaper ain't breaking any kind of stereotypes with using, you know, a lot of different colors. It definitely isn't diverse in colors. So in any case, you can see we don't have too many options right here, but depending on the wallpaper that you're using, these will change, and obviously this will impact the look of your entire system. And because it is matching it with the wallpaper that you're currently using, obviously it would be a little bit better fitted to your look of your device right now, considering the wallpaper. Now another thing in here is going to be the fingerprint animation, which you can see we have a couple different animations to choose from. I do want to point out one thing. If you ever tried, you have the none option right here. This isn't actually a no flashbang kind of option. The flashbang will still be there. Now I do want to point out, because we do have options like these ones, the basically sling ring effect here and some other things. So you can choose these, and this is additional animation after or when it's going through the process of recognizing your finger. Now the process of recognizing your finger is done by this bright freaking light right here. Now the reason I'm pointing that out is because if you ever use this, you probably already had this happen to you, where you just get completely flashbanged at night when you're trying to, you know, unlock your phone with the fingerprint. You kind of miss it just a little bit, and this bright ass light just tries to singe your irises out of your head. Yeah, you can't get rid of that. It's just part of the way the device sees your finger. So it needs to illuminate the shit out of it to see it. And you, if you miss the fingerprint by like a, you know, just a little bit off. So I wanted just to mention that. Now, another thing in here is the always on display, which is turned off by default. So if you want to use always on display, you can turn it on in here, and we can customize it with world's least customizable always on display settings. Wow, these are piss poor to say the least. Jesus. So in case we have things like we can hide date, battery, and notifications. These are all enabled by default, and as you can see, if I just get rid of them, it just remains as the time. So anyway, that's about it for the always on display. Let's move on to home screen and lock screen. In here we have a couple things. So there's one that I like, which is the pull down gesture. So actually, no, never mind, this isn't this one. Excuse me, am I retarded here? Now this isn't the option that I was looking for, and the reason I'm getting confused by this is because I didn't know this way is up. Or, sorry, this way is down. It's a pull down gesture. Shit, as far as I know, this is pulling down, right? I am physically pulling down. Now, I might be absolutely retarded, which is in the realm of possibilities, but as far as I can tell which way is up. I ain't this retarded yet. So, great. Anyway, so the option that I was actually looking for is the swipe down on home screen. And here they actually know what swipe down is. So swipe down, pull down are sounding the same. And yet they're in two separate directions somehow. Okay then. Anyway, so in here, the swipe down hides a nice option, one that I prefer over the default one, which is the notification and quick settings. So whenever you swipe down now, no matter where you are, and I mean actually like swipe down on your home screen, it will pull down the notifications along with your toggles. And I do much prefer that over the search, considering I have a search right here too. I don't need two different ways to launch the same shit. So that's just much better, in my opinion. Much more useful, and requires you a less hand gymnastics to reach the top of your screen, which in my book is definitely a positive. Now, another thing in here is the animation speed. We have it set to standard. Let's try that again. We have standard and enhanced. That's what I tried to say from the beginning. So the enhanced one will be the increased speed, meaning you will get through animations faster, meaning you will get to your content faster. Now, there's only two options right here, and you actually have the ability to increase this animation speed past what we can do right here, which I'll show you right now, if you want to get that brisky speed. So we're gonna scroll all the way down to About Device. And we're gonna be looking for, let's see, this is probably gonna be named something stupid here. Is it this? Ah, there we go. It's the version number under version. So when you tap on it 7 times, it pops up with this thing. You are now a developer. Now, if you have a screen lock, you will need to confirm it before it enables it. And now when we go back to System and Update, you can see we should have this option visible right here, Developer Options. We're going to click on that, and we're just going to scroll down past like halfway point. We're looking for Transition Animation Scale, Animation Duration Scale, and Window Animation Scale. Which I probably already passed. Yep, definitely did pass it already. Oh, there we go. It's right here. So you can see we have these 3 options right here, all with the animation scale set to 1x. 1x is a default animation speed. Now we can actually push this faster, so we can set it to 0.5. And you can already see that the window is much faster than it was before. So it's now twice as fast as it used to be. Now you can also completely get rid of this animation if, for instance, you wanted to, and now, as you can see, it's literally instant. So the only thing you're waiting for is now the phone actually, trying to open up whatever you're clicking on. So this will be the delay that you're now waiting for, as I can see that there's just a slither of time before the phone kind of does the thing that you clicked on. It might not be very visible to you. This might seem like it's basically instant, but I can tell you there is several milliseconds of latency before it actually does what you clicked it to do. So I will actually stick with the 0.5. This still retains the animation, and that animation is long enough for the device to actually open up what it's supposed to do, and then it automatically just kind of goes through the animation and everything is already ready waiting for you. So this is a option that I prefer to set it up to, which is a 0.5. Gives you stupidly fast animations while still retaining them, and this will become a little bit more apparent having animations when you're doing something like, for instance, this. So when you have gesture navigation and you go from this right here as an example, it's going to be this option, and I believe this one. So you can see we still have animation, but the moment I let it go, it snaps into view, which looks a little bit jarring. Same thing goes right here. There was a bit of glitchiness happening here. This is not what it usually should be doing, and the reason for that is there is two different things: the swipe up to close it, maximize. So it just misses the animation, so it doesn't really know what to do, so it kind of glitches out. So I do personally prefer to have animations enabled to remove this problem. You can see it no longer exists. So there we go. Now let's move back, and under home screen and lock screen, I'm gonna check if there's one more option. Usually there should be, but it looks like it's not here. Well, that's a bummer. So there is one more option in here that I do want to talk about, which is the lock screen magazine. The favorite option for me to hate. So if you don't know what this is, it's this crap right here. Oh, perfect wallpaper. So here we go. We have some random ass woman eating popcorn, looking jolly all happy about it. Now we got a new one. Now imagine that wallpaper shows up and you have a girlfriend or wife, and your piece is now gone. You're now getting bombarded with questions. Who the shit is that? Who is that bitch? So yeah, I prefer to not be bombarded with stupid questions, because the damn device decided to put on some moronic wallpaper that then disappears like I'm trying to freaking hide it. So I would recommend turning that probably off. It's gonna definitely save you from a headache full of problems. Turn off lock screen magazine. Wait. Select your reason for turning it off so that we can improve your experience. Let's see. Do we have the reason here? I only wanted to see the wallpapers I have selected. Okay, so we can, I guess, select them. Still prefer not to bother with this. I can select my own wallpapers myself. Thank you very much. I'm not interested in the recommendations. It uses mobile data. I want to turn off whatever. Carousel wallpaper on the... No. I mean, that is probably one that I would be selecting. I don't like it. There's too much game content. No, there's too much problematic content if you have a relationship. And too many ads. Wait, there are ads on here? Oh, that's great. Nothing fills me with joyful, fuzzy feeling inside. Like having a wallpaper of a random ass woman that then I will have problems for, and then maybe getting an ad for it. Fantastic. Thanks. So yeah, I'm just gonna select turn off and piss off with this crap. There we go. That's how I prefer it. So now we don't have this wallpaper carousel, which means I just have a normal wallpaper and I can choose it myself. Now let's go back to the main settings page and now move to the notification and quick settings. And that's actually what I was looking for before, and thought that it's not here, but it's just let's just say my brain might be a little bit smoother than I would like it to be. So in any case, in here, we have the option at the very top, status bar. Now this is a fantastic option. I personally do adore this option, as it allows you to hide useless crap from your status bar, which would include, for instance, things like NFC, which I do find problematic, it being the only goddamn thing turned off right here, because it is enabled by default. Now it sure shit would be helpful if the only effing thing that isn't turned off is the thing that is turned off from being visible here, isn't the one thing that is on. And it's also, I believe, hidden from here by default, so you probably won't be seeing it in your notification or toggles right here. So I don't think it is added by default. The reason I find it problematic is because this is one of the ways, for instance, you can pay for things. And this shit is enabled by default. Great. So anyway, that's one thing. Another one would be things like do not disturb mode. I can just get rid of that. Let's see, anything other useful? We have Bluetooth. That's definitely one thing that I would like to get rid of. And Wi-Fi, which isn't present right here for some stupid reason. But Bluetooth and other things you can turn off. So that's obviously pretty nice. Now the reason I like to turn it off is because I know it's enabled. I literally never turn it off. And I did set it up, so yeah, it needs to be enabled because that's how I want it. But what I don't want is it to be visible in my status bar, letting me know that it's running in the background. Like, no shit. That's literally what I wanted to do. I just don't need to have it visible that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So I like to turn it off. Another thing in here you can also customize is the battery style. We have several different styles, but I want to point out right now you can see the percentage is inside of the battery. We can change that. So we can have it outside or just not visible at all, or inside like it is. And the inside option is only going to be visible in the horizontal battery. Any other option that you select right here will not be able to have the battery percentage inside of the battery. Obviously, the don't show battery would imply that too. So as an example, if I changed it to vertical, you can see automatically it's moved outside. And well, the option to select where the percentage is just gone. It's just a toggle, show or don't show. So there we go. So I'm gonna stick with the default options. There we go. And another cool thing in here is the notification icons. We can have it show as icons as a number or just don't show them. I personally like the number, as this will show me the total number of notifications I have by swiping down right here. And it's just obviously much more useful to me than seeing 3 different icons for 3 applications and then 3 dots for everything else. Those 3 dots mean absolutely nothing because I have no idea if I have 100 notifications or just 1 more. I'd like to know exactly how many I have, so number obviously solves that. Now if we move over to the, where is it? Display and brightness, there we go. At the very top we have the light and dark mode. Cool. Anyway, moving on, we have the schedule mode below that. Now that mode is a little bit more interesting, as when enabled, it allows you to have a light and dark mode switch from one to another based on sunset to sunrise or custom timer. Right now it's winter, so it gets dark at like 4 p.m. so right about now. So it should already be getting, moving into the dark mode, but based on the custom timer and I think also sunset to sunrise, it does switch to dark mode at 10 p.m. instead. So you can see it right here. So that's a nice option in general anyways, but moving on, we have the screen refresh rate right here, and we have a couple options. Now I like the fact that nowadays most devices just have 2 options, because that's really the 2 options that are usable. So the ones that we have right here are just kind of freaking stupid. So the auto select is the one that most of us will want to use anyway, and one that actually comes enabled by default, which is good. Another option below that is the standard one. Now auto select runs up to 120 frames per second, the display meaning. So it gets you this nice battery smooth motion, while standard runs up to 60 frames. So less frame rate, meaning less strain on the processor and less battery consumed because of that. So these are the only two options you should ever consider. High basically does the same thing as auto, like literally the same thing. Before, you would have it high be running permanently at 120, but if you can read right here, which I apparently can, it says refresh rate up to 120 frames, which just happens to be the same thing that auto select does, meaning that one of these options is absolutely useless. Great. So going to this and kind of finalizing the refresh rate section here, select whichever option you like more in terms of how it looks like. But if you don't see a difference between them, so when scrolling up and down, you don't see the choppiness when you have it set to standard, then I would say stick with the standard. It will get you better battery life, removes the smooth refresh rate, the nice motion clarity that you get with it. But if you can't really see the benefit from it, then it really doesn't matter. But what will matter is the battery life. So you can select that. And there's one more thing in here that I find sometimes useful. Probably not a lot of people will though, but I do want to still talk about it. It's the full screen for apps. Now in here we have two options. So we have the default and hide front camera, or we have, what is it, like a reversed one? Full screen display on, full screen display off. Okay. Oh, this is for like the very stupid apps that, yeah. Anyway, so in here, if we go into the apps, well, we have very low selection of apps. Let's see the other one. Oh, great, none. Okay. So in any case, hopefully, when you have an application that uses this wrong, you will find it in here. Now, one application that I know for a fact that I found use for this kind of feature was Steam Link. When connecting to my computer through my phone and just having, you know, my computer screen visible on my phone, what it would have done is display the content basically all the way up to the camera, but have this black bar right here, basically this kind of look. I don't really care for that. I would much rather have the Steam Link and therefore also the computer content take the entirety of my screen. I mean, shit, I paid for the whole screen. I might as well use the whole screen, right? Instead of having some black bar covering portion of it. So you can select it right here. And basically by going in here and selecting the application, you can change how it's going to be displaying the content. And you can force it to be like this, meaning that the content will be cutting into the top and you will have this black little dot, meaning your camera, like we have right here, that will be visible in that content. Personally, I prefer that more just because I now have more screen real estate compared to just having a black bar, and black bar just freaking annoys me, so I like to get rid of it. Anyway, so that's basically all the things that I wanted to show you. So anyway, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Hello everyone, welcome to the HardReset channel, and today I'm gonna show you first things to do on the OPPO A6 Pro 5G. So if you've just gotten the OPPO A6 Pro and you want to set it up properly, here are a few tips on how to do it. And the first thing that we want to do is obviously connect our device to the Wi-Fi. And you might do that while going through the setup of your phone, but if you haven't, it's just as simple as going to the settings, tapping on Wi-Fi, finding your network, and then typing in the password. It's that simple. And after we've connected to the Wi-Fi, we can pretty much do anything else. And after we've connected, we're going to sign in into our Google account and also sign in or create an OPPO ID. And to do that, the first thing that we're going to do is open up the settings and then scroll down to users and accounts, tap automatically sync app data, then add an account, and here we have Google. So we can add a Google account, verify it's you, and just complete the login. We also have this Google section right here. If we tap on it and you aren't logged in, it's going to prompt you to log in. And the next thing that we can do is see and check if the system is up to date. So to do that, we'll once again going to go to settings, then scroll down, tap on system and update, tap software update, and here is going to check for updates, and it's going to tell us whether the system is up to date or not. So for me, it's up to date, but for you, if it's not up to date and it says to update, just follow the guide that's going to appear, and you will update the system pretty quickly and easily. The next thing that you can do is remove the unnecessary pre-installed apps. So this phone comes in with a few apps that aren't really official, they're more third-party, but they get installed automatically on your phone. So make sure to delete those if you aren't using them. So I have a bunch here, like some sort of solitaire, bridge race, a folder with must-play games. So if you don't need those, just select the icon, then hold it, and tap uninstall, and then confirm. And this uninstalls the app and frees up some storage from unwanted apps. And the next thing is to set up a fingerprint and face unlock. So this phone has a feature to unlock your phone with a fingerprint and a face ID. And to do that, we're going to go to settings, then scroll down to the home screen and lock screen. Sorry, that's the wrong section. We're going to go to the security and privacy option, and then scroll down to device unlock and tap on it. And here we have a few options. So we have screen lock. For me, it's a pattern. So this is the first thing that we want to add. Some sort of normal lock, like a password. So I have a pattern, but you can do numeric, alphanumeric, or even a pin. So if you tap on numeric, it's going to let you change it to from 4 digits to 16. So I'm going to select 4, type in a password, and then confirm it. So there we go. Now I have a new password, and if we turn our phone on and off, the new password is added. Then we also have the fingerprint and face unlock. So if you tap on that, we have a few options. So for example, face unlock, we can add it by just tapping on the icon and continuing the process. And once it's done, you will have your face ID. Then we also have the fingerprint. So the fingerprint sensor is located somewhere in the bottom, on the bottom of your screen. And if you want to add a fingerprint, just go into the section, type in your password, and press add a fingerprint. So let's just add one really quickly. What you do is hold your phone like shown in the picture and tap like this until the fingerprint is going to get fully scanned. So you need to move your fingers slightly and make sure that your screen is clean. So I suggest getting a microfiber cloth and just clean your screen like this, because as you can see, the screen was dirty and it says clean your finger and the fingerprint sensor area. So if we clean it up like this, now it should work immediately. So here, as you can see, each time I press it, it scans. And now we're doing the edges of the fingerprint, and it's done. So this is how you add a fingerprint. And now we can move on to the next step, and that will be to customize the display and navigations. So we can navigate change the display by going to display and brightness and adjusting some options. For example, we can enable dark mode. Dark mode just makes everything, all the backgrounds dark, and preserves a little battery life. Then we also have something like screen color mode, where we can change the colors of our screen so we can do more vibrant or less vibrant. And we can also change the warmth of our screen. So this is how you change the display. Then the next thing that we have is battery optimization options. So if we scroll down to battery in the settings and tap on it, we have a few options right here that we can play around with. The first one will be battery mode, and you have a few options right here. So you have high performance mode, which maximizes the performance of your system, but your battery will deplete quicker. So as you can see, 21 hours and 4 minutes. Then we also have balanced mode, which is just the normal mode of your phone. It has 22 hours and 10 minutes. Then we have a power saving mode, which disables some of the system's background processes, and the battery can last about 23 hours and 57 minutes. And then the last mode is super power saving mode. It pretty much disables everything except calling, messaging, and check-in time. And that gives you 1 day and 1 hour and 30 minutes of battery life. So then we also have battery health. So if you tap on the battery health option, we have things such as we can check the maximum capacity. We can enable smart charging, which limits your battery's charge to 80% and then adjusts the charging speed to charge to 100. Then we have a custom charging limit, which limits the battery's charge, so the battery life or battery health is preserved. And things such as resume charging at 95%. So then we also have charging settings. As you can see, you have smart rapid charging, and you have power saving settings. So this is how you optimize your battery life. And the next and last thing that we have is the home screen customization. So if you want to change the look of your home screen, for example, the look of the icons and the look of the background image, what we can do is go to the home screen and hold and tap on an empty space like that, so the home screen editor opens up. And we have a few options that we can play around with, like wallpapers, icons, widgets, the layout, transitions between screens, and things like that. So if you want to change our wallpaper, we're just going to tap on wallpapers and either select from one of the pre-downloaded ones, or create your own from a photo by tapping on album. So once you've selected a new lock screen, just press apply to and select whether you want to apply it to lock screen, home screen, or lock screen, home screen, the both. So I'm going to tap on that and then press apply on the top right. So now if we exit out to the main screen, as you can see, the lock screen changed and the home screen too. So that is pretty much it for this video. So thank you for watching. I hope this video helps you, and make sure to like and subscribe.
Hello everybody, welcome back to HardReset.Info channel. In today's video, I'll show you how to fix speaker not working on your OPPO A6 Pro. So first, what you guys want to do is check the volume levels in the settings. So go over to the settings. Now you want to go over to the sounds and vibration right here. And after that, check your volume levels because they may be low. As you guys can see, my media volume is low So let's up it up. Now it's at the full volume, and this is how it's supposed to be when your speaker is not working. After that, what you guys can do is clean the speaker grills. So as you guys can see, here we have the speaker grills. There's no other grills right here. There's only one at the bottom. So here you guys can clean it up with a soft brush. This phone is fairly new, so I know that this isn't stuck with anything. And that's basically what you guys need to do to make sure that your speaker is not dirty. It's actually available to play the music or anything else. After that, what you guys can do is go over and make sure that Bluetooth is disabled, because if Bluetooth is enabled, then maybe audio is rerouted somewhere else, and we definitely do not want that, because we want our Bluetooth to be disabled at the time so the other devices cannot connect to our phone, like headphones, cars, or practically anything else. And after that, what you guys can do is restart the phone to refresh the entire system. So hold the power button and the volume up button at the same time. Now swipe up to restart, and as you guys can see, now our phone is restarting. So I'll see you guys in a second once it's done. Now after the restart, what you guys can do is check for software updates as a last resort. So we need to make sure that our phone keeps running the latest software. So go over to the settings, now swipe down until you guys see system and update, and here click on software update. As you guys can see, it will check for updates automatically once you have Wi-Fi connection, and my version is up to date. But if you don't have the latest version of the ColorOS, then I recommend you guys updating it, because it can fix a lot of things. So that's it for the video. I hope it was helpful. If it was, then leave a like, subscription, and a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show you the productivity tricks on Oppo A6 Pro. Okay, let's open up our settings first. Now let's scroll down until you find accessibility and convenience. And in here we have our Windows gestures. They are the best things for our productivity, and they can boost it. Let's begin with the split view. Let's tap on that. Make sure that it's enabled. In here we have a few ways how we can enter the split view mode. We can do it from the recent tasks. We can do it from the smart sidebar. I'll show you that later. And we can also perform a 3-finger swipe for split view. Let me show you how it works. Maybe let's begin with opening up using the 3-finger gesture. So simply slide to the upside using 3 fingers. Now we need to select the second app that we would like to use in this split screen mode. So in my case, I'll pick the calculator, for example. You can see that both apps are opened at the same time, and the screen has been perfectly split in half horizontally. So above we have our notes, down below we have our calculator, and we can take notes and calculate something really, really fast. We don't need to, switch between the apps each time. We can simply do two things at the same time. So we can count, and we can quickly start creating notes. Really cool thing and useful feature. Also, if you grab that bar in the middle, you can change the size of the apps, just like that. If you tap on that, you can swap the sides, and you can also save it as an app group. Let's say that we are using notes and calculator really often in the split screen mode, of course. And thanks to that we have created an app group. We don't need to, each time open the first app, then enter the split screen mode, look for the calculator. Now we simply have a shortcut. When I'll tap on that, both apps are opening already in the split view mode. So it is really, really useful, and it can save some time. Okay, I'll close it up for now. So that's when it comes to the split screen mode. Let me also show you how you can enter it from the recent apps. Simply click on those three dots and select the split view. Really useful thing. Okay. Now let's get back into the settings, accessibility and convenience, and now let's go with the floating window. Okay. Down below we have the window control. We can use gestures or the buttons. I'll stick to gestures in my case. If you want, you can launch the tutorial. And above we can again see ways how we can open the app in the floating window. We can swipe down from the notification banner at the top of the screen to turn the current app into a floating window. We can switch from the floating window into the split view mode. And also we can do it from the smart sidebar. And also from the recent apps, I'll show you that. Click on those three dots and you can enter the floating window mode. If you grab on the edge of the floating window, you can adjust its size. If you grab those three dots on the top edge of the floating window, you can change its position anywhere that you want on the screen. If you click on those three dots, you can open this up in the full screen. You can also minimize it. Now it is stacked on the edge. So let's say that, for example, we are surfing an internet and we are taking notes. So we can quickly open it up, type something, and then again minimize it and start surfing again. So floating window is also really useful. It works with various apps. You can see that I can easily launch the Chrome and do my stuff and still have this floating window opened. So it's also a pretty cool thing. And now let's go with the smart sidebar. Again, we need to open up accessibility and convenience and click on smart sidebar. Enable it right in here. You can also adjust this bar. You can change its size. You can see it on the right side of the screen. You can enable auto hide or keep that turned off. You can change the side of this bar, and down below, if you want, you can restore the default settings. All right. Also, I highly recommend enabling the file dock. This thing allows us to copy the text, for example, from the browser, and also images, and we can copy them into our file dock to simply store them in that place, and for example, copy them later and paste it into message that we want to send, or for example, into our notes. I'll show you that in a second, how it works. Okay, so let's open up our sidebar just like that. In here, we can quickly take a screenshot, start screen recording, use the translate function, also really useful app. If you click on all, in here you can see all apps that are supported. And you can also edit your smart sidebar and add more apps. For example, let's add the screen translate. Okay, now if you open and if you click on one of those apps that are on our smart sidebar, they will also open in the floating window, just like that. Now, for example, let's use the translate function. Also really useful. In here you can simply enter the text that you would like to translate. For example, really useful when you are in a foreign country and the people that you want to talk to don't know English, for example. And that's the moment when you should use the conversation mode. It is one of the best modes that we have, also the best apps that we have on our Oppo. In here, simply select the languages and you can start speaking if you tap this button. Click on while using the app, and now you can simply start speaking and everything will be translated. You can see that it's currently currently translating from English into simplified Chinese. You can click on Tap to End, and if you want, you can copy that translation and, for example, paste it into your notes. Okay, now let me show you how that file doc works. Click on Get Started, open it up. Now I will open up the Chrome app, my browser, and let's try to copy some text. Okay, let's say that we have, I don't know, anything, maybe this one, this article. Let's copy some text, simply hold it. Okay. Now, place your finger and hold, and now you can place it on the file doc. Release your finger, and now this text has been successfully copied. It's available in our file doc, and we can, for example, now copy that text and paste it into the notes. I'll show you that in a second, but also let's try to copy some photo. Maybe this one, simply hold. Sometimes there's a chance that it might don't work and the photo might don't want to be grabbed. Sometimes it happens. Or maybe when I'll click on copy, I'll be able to paste it like that. Or maybe not. Weird thing, I thought that copying the photos is also available. Maybe it is. And maybe I'm doing something wrong. Not the floating bar, the file doc. Yes, it says that I can copy the images. Maybe it depends on the page from which I'm copying the photo. So let's try maybe that way. There's a chance that the photo needs to be pasted on the page in a different way. Maybe let's try a different article. Maybe something like that. Will it be possible? Again, I don't know why it doesn't want to get copied. So I can try on your own. I don't know why in my case it doesn't want to get copied and it doesn't want to get grabbed. But you can see that the text has been successfully copied. So now let's try to copy it, for example, let's try to paste it into the notes. Let's create a new one. Let's open up the file doc, simply grab it, release it, and everything has been successfully pasted. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
Hello everybody, welcome back to HardReset.Info channel. In today's video, I'll show you how to easily fix no sound during calls on your OPPO A6 Pro. So first, what you guys want to do is check the volume during a call using the side buttons on the right side. So you definitely want to do that first, because when you're in a call, then you want to make sure that your volume is up to the max. Now go into the settings and go over to the sounds and vibration. Here, as you guys can see, you cannot change the volume button. You do not have, we can change it to ringtone or media volume, but it's volume button function. Basically, you cannot change it to call. And this is what we want to do. So we want to change our call volume. So you can only do that in an active call. As you guys can see, you cannot do that here. You can only change the media, ringtone, notification, and alarm. So none of this actually is interesting for us right now. And that's why you need to call up somebody and change the volume while being in a call. After that, what you guys can do is go back into the settings and go into the Bluetooth. Here in the Bluetooth, you guys want to make sure that your Bluetooth is disabled to make sure that there's no connected devices to your phone. For example, your car, everything else like headphones, earbuds, practically anything that's connectable by Bluetooth to your device. After that, as you guys can see, we have a little earpiece right here. And we want to clean it with a soft brush to make sure that there's no dust inside of it, or that it's just not clogged by the dust, because that may result in no sound. After that, if you guys were using the phone app to call up somebody, then what you guys can do is try another app like WhatsApp, Instagram, basically anything that has a call support and that you know that is working. And after that, what you guys can do is restart the phone if there's still no sound. So press the power button plus volume up button at the same time, and here swipe up to restart the device. So I'll see you guys once the device is restarted. Now after the restart, you will see something like this, and basically enter your password. After that, what you guys can do is update your software. So go into the settings, here swipe down until you guys see system and update. Here you want to click software update right up top, and it will automatically check for new updated versions. So as you guys can see, my version is up to date, but if yours isn't, then I recommend you guys updating it, because it's very important to keep up with the latest updates on your device. So that's it for the video. I hope it was helpful. If it was, then leave a like, subscription, and a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show the security tricks on Oppo A6 Pro. Okay, so let's begin. Let's open up our settings first, and let's begin with setting up our screen lock. Find security and privacy, and let's click on set screen lock first. We have three types of the password: numeric, alphanumeric, or pattern. It is up to you which mode you would like to use. In my case, I will select the pattern. Remember that if you lose your password, you'll be forced to reset your device using the recovery mode, so simply create a password that you will remember. Now, when it comes to the pattern, we have those 9 dots on the screen, and to create a pattern, we need to connect at least 4 of them. So simply draw your pattern, now draw it once again to confirm, and now it has been successfully set. Now the phone suggests us to turn on the fingerprint unlock. Let's click on enable. I also highly recommend adding it. Click on add now, and now in here we have our sensor. We just need to simply place our finger on it. Now we need to lift it up and place it again. And we need to repeat that process until our fingerprint is saved. So simply keep repeating. It's going to take a few tries, so simply be patient and keep going. Alright, now it has been added. If you want, you can add another one if you are interested. Let's click on done. We can also add our face unlock. It is up to you. In my case, I don't want it. If you want to add it, simply click on add, and then all you need to do is to place your face inside of the frame. That will appear on the screen, and then follow the instruction. It is really easy. Okay, now let's go back. Let's scroll down a little into device unlock, and let's click on theft protection. In here we have things such as remote lock. We can click on that. If you choose to turn it on, thanks to that, you'll be able to remotely lock your device. All you need to do is to visit that page, android.com/lock, and to lock your device, you just need to type your phone number. No sign in or Google account needed. Really useful thing, but remember that you need to have your SIM card inserted or eSIM activated. Alright, let's go back. Down below we also have theft detection lock, offline device lock, and the SIM lock. We can enable the theft detection lock, for example. How it works: someone takes our device, then speeds away, our screen locks. A really useful thing. We can enable that. Same thing with the offline device lock. Thieves often turn off internet service immediately, so no one can track the device that they have stolen. So it is also really useful. And down below we have the SIM lock. Your device will be locked if the linked SIM card is removed. Okay, we also have find and erase our device feature. If you want to use it, make sure that it's enabled. And we need to turn on the device location feature if we want to use it. So simply select use location. Alright, we have two ways how we can use the Find Hub. We have the app and also we have the web. It works in that way that, let's say that our Oppo gets stolen. We can remotely lock it or even perform a factory reset so the thief won't have access into our data. Let's use the web for that. And now, really important thing, the steps that I'm currently showing you, you will have to repeat on any other device, or for example on your computer. And you will have to log in into the same Google account into which you are logged in on your stolen Oppo. It is really important. In my case, it's that account, so I will click on continue. We need to sign in into the Find Hub. And in here you can see the list of devices. We have our Oppo. Currently I cannot select the factory data reset because I'm using this device. So I'll show that, for example, on the example of the Nothing phone. In here you'll have a feature to remotely secure it, and if you click on the settings button, you can perform a factory reset remotely. If you click that button, you'll have to also type the password into your Google account. So it's also a really useful feature. As you can see, when a location feature is turned on, we can easily find the location of our device. Okay, let's get back and let's go into App Security and let's click on Google Play Protect. Okay, currently no harmful apps has been found, but let's also click on manually on the scan button. It's always good to do from time to time. Okay, no action is needed. If something would be wrong, simply follow the instruction on the screen. I'm sure that you will handle it. Alright, now let's go into Account Security and let's click on Google Security Checkup. Okay, in here in my case also everything is okay. Down below I have some suggestions that I should, for example, log out from those devices because they are inactive. I will do it later. Again, if something would be wrong, follow the instruction on the screen. Let's click on the password checkup right now. And here you'll be able to see, do you have some compromised passwords? Are your passwords unique and are your passwords strong? For example, if you will have a weak password, you should see it right in here, and it's also suggestion for us that we should change it. I think that I don't need to tell you that you should avoid passwords such as ABCD12345 because that's the easiest kind of the password and even a child could guess it, so you should avoid that and remember that this should be unique. You shouldn't use only one password for everything because there's a huge chance that if someone will know that password, he might want to try it to log in into other things. So have that in mind and keep them unique. Alright, now I have shown you device finders. In here we have that Find Hub that I was showing you before. So now let's click on System and Updates and let's click on Security Update first. Okay, in my case, the system is up to date, so I don't need to download anything. If you'll have that possibility to download it, you should do this ASAP. Just to make sure, we can also click on Check for Update manually, but again, nothing available to download. Same thing with the Google Play System Update. It's also worth checking, do we have the latest version, and as you can see, in my case, I'm available to download the update. I won't do it right now because I want to show you some other things, but if you have that possibility on your device, you should do this ASAP. I'll do it later in my case. And the last thing in System and Updates is a backup. I really recommend creating it because even after our device gets lost or stolen, when we have a backup, we'll be able to restore that data that we have on our Oppo on any other device, so we won't lose everything. Now, make sure that Backup by Google one is enabled. Down below, under account storage, we can see our Google account that we are currently logged into. And on that account, our backup will be saved and stored in the cloud. So if you want to restore a backup later in the future, you'll need to be logged into the same Google account that you can see on your screen, of course. Okay, now to create a backup, also make sure that you have some free storage space. And now to create it, simply click on Backup Now. The process will now start. Under the backup word, a thin bar should appear at any second. Okay, here it is. And it's starting slowly to fulfill. Basically, when it disappears, it means that our backup has been successfully created. So, it's going to take a little bit. I'll see you once it's done. Okay, as we scroll down, we can see under Backup by Google one sentence that everything has been successfully created 0 minutes ago, and also under Backup Details we can see that all of our apps has been copied, same thing with the SMS messages in my case, and, for example, device settings. Okay, we can exit it for now, and down below we have the special features, such as App Lock, Hide Apps, and the Private Save. Let's begin with the App Lock. Let's tap on that. Now we need to verify using our fingerprint or the privacy password. Now we need to create our privacy password. In my case, I will select a really easy one just for this video, but you should create a stronger one. Okay, make sure that the app lock is enabled. And in here we have a list of apps that we can lock. So for example, let's try to lock maybe the YouTube app. And now if someone will want to launch the YouTube, the only way to do it is by verifying with the fingerprint or by typing the password. So it's also a really useful feature. Let's say that we have some apps that we don't want to share with, or we don't want any uninvited persons to open them. That is why we can set the app lock. Really useful feature. For now though, I will turn it off, but you know how to add it. We can also hide our apps from our home screen. Also really useful. Click on Get Started. And we have two ways to get access into those hidden apps. Via home screen icon or via dial pad. Simply select the mode that you want to use. If you want to access via dial pad, we need to click on the settings and we need to set the access code. And here we have an example, and the code must end with hashtag and contain 1 to 16 digits in between. So let's create our code. Let's say hashtag. In my case, I will create a really easy one and then click on done. Click on done once again. And now we can add apps into our folder. Again, we have a list of apps that we can hide. So let's try to hide maybe. Okay, let's again select the YouTube. Currently it's hidden. You can even see that it has disappeared from the Google folder that I have on my home screen. And now we need to open up the phone app. And we need to type our code to get access into our YouTube. And here it is, under Hidden Apps. You can see that it's fully working. Of course, if you want, you can change the access method into via home screen icon, and then it appears right in here. And if you want to open it, you need to type the password. So that's how it works. Pretty easy thing. Okay, for now I would like to remove YouTube. So let's get into the hidden and I will unselect it. You can see that the YouTube app appeared on the home screen, so I'll place it back again in that folder. Alright, let's open up the settings And the last thing in here is the private save. In here you can add your files such as images and videos, audio files, documents, and other files. Let's try to add, for example, some photo. Simply click on Add. And now select what you would like to add. Select it, click on Lock. And now it has been removed from our gallery app. And the only way to get access into that photo is by entering the private save. So it's also really useful thing. You can create that if you want. Okay, let's open up the settings. My bad. I'm sorry, not the settings, but the phone manager. And in here, we can perform a virus scan in search for potential threats. So let's do it. It's going to take a little bit, so we need to be patient. Okay, 100%. Everything is secured, so that's good to see. If you want, you can download some additional antivirus apps from the Play Store. It is up to you. When it comes to me, I think that the virus scan that is provided by the phone manager is completely okay. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment and subscribe.
Hi everyone, in front of me I've got Oppo A6 Pro and let me share with you how to fix app crashing. So let's pretend I've got a problem with Google Chrome. So find it, tap on it and hold it, and then tap on App Info. So here what I highly recommend to do is to go to storage usage and remove cache. Tap on clear cache. Cache are junk files which sometimes interfere and blocks the normal usage. So the cache and then force stop. Tap on force stop, that's okay. And now we can try to open the app. However, if that didn't work, I highly recommend to come back here, repeat those steps, and then try to power off your device and then power it on again. This operation will basically confirm all of the changes you've made. So for example, this cache removal, etc. Another thing which I highly recommend to do is to check for the updates. So let's open the Play Store. Here in search, just enter the name of the app and find for the updates. And check for the updates, sorry. As you can see, if the update is available, your device will show it to you. So just tap on update, let it be downloaded and applied. Your device will overwrite it over the older version. And if that worked, that's great. However, this operation could also make some problems because overwriting the newer version over the older one might cause some problems. So if that didn't work, if the update didn't work, I highly recommend to get back to this option here. So enter the Google Chrome, and instead of the update, you will have the option uninstall. So simply uninstall the app and then install it again. Thanks to which your device will directly install the newer version and hopefully omit some problems. And what I also highly recommend to check is the system update, because older versions are sometimes not optimized to use the newer app versions. So simply go to the settings, make sure that you've got the internet connection, scroll all the way down and go to System and Update and tap on Software Update. Your device will check for the updates, and if it will find anything, I highly recommend to simply tap on Download or Install and apply new system version. It is not only for the proper usage of the app, etc., but it is also for your safety, because usually there are some updates regarding security. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show you top tricks on Oppo A6 Pro. Okay, let's begin with the settings. Let's open them up. Now scroll down until you find accessibility and convenience, and maybe let's begin with screenshot and a few ways how we can take them. You know, the usual way of taking a screenshot is simply by clicking the power button and volume down button, but we have other types. We can perform a 3-finger swipe down screenshot. We can take a partial or scrolling screenshot by holding 3 fingers on the screen, and we have a normal way. Down below we have a tutorial how we can do it. So let's begin with the full screenshot, just like that. Now let's go with the partial screenshot. Simply hold 3 fingers on the screen, select the area that you would like to take a screenshot of, and now you can select the exact part of the screen that you would like to take screenshot of. So for example, this part. Now to save it, click on this button. And we also have the scrolling screenshot. We need to tap on that and click on scroll. Okay, now we can swipe up or down to adjust the length. If you want to save it, click on done. So that are all possible ways of taking a screenshot. And of course, also a normal way, just like that. You can turn on or turn off the screenshot sound if you are interested. It is up to you. But for now, let's go back and let's go into gestures and motions. We have screen of gestures. We can enable them, and we have things such as double tap to turn on or off the screen, draw an O to open camera, draw a V to turn flashlight or on or off. We have the music control, and we have more. Let's begin and let's turn on those features. Maybe accept the music control because I don't have any music downloaded, so I won't be able to control it using the gestures, but if you want, you can enable it. And yeah, let's go with those first 3. Double tap to turn on or off the screen. That is pretty common. I highly recommend turning that feature on because, you know, when our phone is laying flat just like that, it's really useful, for example, to check, do we have some notifications? And we can, for example, quickly check out the hour. And then tap again to turn off the screen. Okay, draw an O to open camera. Also, pretty cool thing. Draw an O. Unlock your phone, and as you can see, the camera app launched. Let's do it once again. Draw an O. Unlock your phone, and the camera app launches. So everything works just like it should. Next thing is draw a V to turn flashlight on or off. You can see that it's working. The flashlight has successfully turned on. When I draw again, it turns off. It works really, really fine. Alright, and under more we have things such as draw this symbol, I don't know how it's called actually, to launch the calculator, but we can select actually what exactly we would like to launch. We can select unlock, call, or open an app, and we'll be able to select the app from that list. The app that will launch when we draw this symbol. For example, let's try with Chrome. So let's do it. Now when I unlock my phone, nothing happens because I have forgot to turn it on. So let's do it once again. And as you can see, my browser successfully launched. Next thing, draw an M to launch the Gemini in my case. Of course, you can change the app that will launch. Gemini is our assistant. And it has successfully turned on. And the last thing, draw a W to launch the recorder. And it also successfully launched. So that's when it comes to the screen of gestures. As we scroll down, we can enable to turn on or off the flashlight with the volume button. When the screen is off, press and hold the volume down button to turn the flashlight on or off. Let's try how it works. Let's turn off the screen. I'll place it just like that. Now I will hold the power button. And it has launched successfully. Pretty useful shortcut. Worth enabling. Okay, down below we have the motions. We have raise to wake, lift to air to answer calls, auto switch to receiver, flip to mute incoming calls, and shake to launch. So now, I will actually enable all of that. So the raise to wake works in that way that when our phone is lying flat, now when I will pick it up, the screen automatically launches. Let's do it again. Just like that, pretty easy thing. Now lift to ear to answer calls. Simply, if we have an incoming call, all we need to do to answer this call is grab our phone. Let's say that my left hand is my ear. I just need to place it just like that, next to my ear, and the call will be automatically answered. We also have the auto switch to receiver, automatically switch to the receiver when you lift your phone to your ear, and we have flip to mute incoming calls. Simply, when someone will be calling us, you just need to flip your phone just like that, then lay it, and the incoming call will be muted. We also have shake to launch. We can select to turn on flashlight on or off, or to open camera. Let me show you. Flashlight has successfully turned off. I'll do it again, and it turns off. Pretty cool thing. You can also open the camera that way. I need to unlock the phone. Actually, I didn't have to. And the camera successfully launched. Also a pretty cool thing. I'll stay to the flashlight though. And that is all when it comes to the motions. Down below, we also have drag and drop. No, not that thing. My bad. The quick launch, yeah. When this mode is enabled, in here a menu appears. We can edit it and add more apps to it. Or also we can add the functions. In my case, I will add some apps. I will add the calculator, for example, the Chrome app, and maybe recorder. To save it, click on done. And now how it works. Touch and hold the fingerprint sensor until icons appear. Without lifting your finger, slide it to an icon and then release to launch the corresponding function or app. So I need to turn off my screen until the fingerprint logo and sensor appears. Now simply hold it. And something has lagged. Okay, I need to hold a little bit longer. And now slide to the icon that you would like to launch. Let's try with the Notes. Release. And as you can see, the Notes app successfully launched. So it's a cool way of creating a shortcut of our favorite apps. Really worth enabling also, in my opinion. I'll do it once again just to show you. Simply place your finger on the sensor and hold it until this quick launch appears. Okay, now let's try with the calculator. And it has successfully launched. Okay. Now I will show you the smart sidebar. That is one of my favorite things. Again, go into accessibility and convenience and click on smart sidebar. Make sure that it is enabled. And to launch it up, simply slide from the right side to the left side. Also in the settings, you are available to adjust this sidebar a little. In here we have things such as file doc. We can quickly take a screenshot, use the translate function. It is really worth using. For example, when you are in a foreign country and you are speaking to a person who doesn't know English, for example, thanks to that app, you'll be able to communicate somehow with that person. Simply, let's say that I'm going to speak in English. Let's use the conversation mode for that, and it will be automatically translated, for example, into Chinese. In here you have a list of apps, of languages that are supported. Let's say I'll select maybe French. And now when I'll tap this icon, all of the sentences that I'm going to say will be translated into French. So let me show you how it works. Hello, how are you? If you want to end, tap again, and you can see that it has been successfully translated. We can also play it.
Bonjour, comment vas-tu? Bonjour, comment vas-tu?
So just like I was saying, this mode is really useful when you're in a foreign country, for example. So that's how you can quickly use the translate function. Simply open up your sidebar and you can start speaking. We also have the screen translate function in here. Nothing that I don't need to tell you how this mode works. Simply it translates the page, what it sees on the screen, into the language that we will select. In here you can select all of your languages. When it comes to the smart sidebar itself, we can also edit it and, for example, add more apps or delete the current ones. If you click on all, in here you have all apps that you can launch from the smart sidebar. Also, if you launch, for example, the calculator, those apps are opening in the floating windows. If you would like to open them in the full screen, simply tap on those three dots and click on full screen. Really easy thing. All right. We also had that file doc right in here, and in here we can, for example, select the text from the internet, drag it into the file doc, so we'll be able to copy it later and, for example, paste it into notes. Let me show you how that works. For now, I will clear it. Clear file doc. Okay, now I will open up the page with some text. Maybe this one. Now, hold on the text to select it, just like that, using your finger. Now, release. Hold it once again, and now you can save it to file doc. Now release, and now this text has been copied, so we'll be able to get to it later and, for example, paste it into our notes. Let me show you actually that it works. Let me open up the Notes app. Now I will create a new note. I will open up the sidebar, grab that text, release, and it has been successfully copied. Really useful thing. Also, when we are in the Notes app, down below we can see this icon, and this is our AI tool. A really useful AI assistant for notes. We can format our note. We can continue the writing. We can perform a cleanup. We can polish the text. You can see that AI is generating everything. Everything is done automatically. If you want to replace, simply hit the button. And we can also shorten the text, make it more formal, make it more casual. And for example, we can continue the writing. You can see that everything is being generated by the AI. Really powerful tool, and also really fun to use. I highly recommend trying it on your own. Wow, actually this text is really long. I thought that it will be a little bit shorter, but I'll just, when it finishes generating, I'll show you how to use the shortened version, for example. So we will shorten that text. Actually, wow, it is pretty long. Let's click on Insert. And now let's shorten that text. Okay. If you want to save it, simply click on Replace. So that's how the AI for the notes work. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
Hello everybody, welcome back to HardReset.Info channel. In today's video, I'll show you how to fix microphone not working on your OPPO A6 Pro. So first, what you guys want to do is clean the microphone port with a non-metallic tool. So if you use something metallic, then you can only damage the port even more, and that can damage the port so much that it just won't be usable anymore. So if the port is good, then do not touch it with a non-metallic tool. Sorry, do not touch it with a metallic tool, only use a non-metallic tool like soft brushes or air compressors. Now, to the next step. Open up the tools folder if you still have it, or find the recorder app on your phone and try and see if your voice is being recorded with the microphone. So here we need to press here, click on allow, and as you guys can see, whenever I'm not talking, then this just won't move. So our microphone is definitely working. We can now cancel it, and as you guys can see, our microphone is working. But if yours still isn't, then what you guys can do is restart the phone to refresh the entire system. So click the power button and the volume up button at the same time. Now swipe up to restart the device, and now your device is restarting. So I'll see you guys in a second after the device restarts. Now after the restart, enter the password if you have one. And after that, what you guys can do as a last resort is update your software to fix any mic glitches. So open up the settings and swipe down until you guys see system and update. Here you will click software update, and as you guys can see, it will check for updates automatically. So in a second we should know if we have the latest version, and I do. But if you don't and you see a button to update it, then make sure you do that, because it's very important to keep up with the latest version of your software. So that's it for the video. I hope it was helpful. If it was, then leave a like, subscription, and a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show you the speed up tricks on OPPO A6 Pro. Okay, the first thing that I'm about to show you is how to get access into developer options, because we can change a few things to get some speed of our device. So to do it, we need to open up our settings. Now we need to scroll all the way down until we find About Device. Now scroll down again until you find the status. And my bad, I'm sorry, the version. My bad. And now we need to tap on the version number a few times. In my case, I also need to confirm by drawing my screen lock. And we can see on the bottom that we are now a developer. Let's get back then. Now click on System and Update. And on the bottom we have Developer Options. Now we need to scroll down and we need to find 4 specific options that we can adjust. I'll show you which one exactly. In here we have Animator Duration Scale, Transition Animation Scale, and the Window Animation Scale. As you currently see, all 3 of them are set on 1x, but we can change it. We can set it on 0.5, or we can completely turn them off. Remember that you shouldn't go higher than 1x, because it will only slow your device. For me, a perfect balance between 1x and off is of course 0.5, so that's my preset. I'm going to select all of those 3 options into that value. Let's scroll down a little until we find the apps, And we have the background process limit. Currently it's set on the standard, but we can select at most 3 processes or at most 4. It is up to you. In my case, I will select at most 4, for example. Alright, that is all. When it comes to developer options, we can quit them. Now, let's scroll to the upside a little until we find the battery. And if you want to have the best performance, you should select high performance mode. Remember that the battery consumption will be increased and the temperature will increase. So I think that, I'm sure about it. You shouldn't use that mode for a longer period of time. Let's say that personally, I use this mode when I'm playing games on my Oppo. Thanks to that, I have best performance possible. But when I finish gaming, I always get back into the balanced mode because, you know, for example, overheating your battery, it's not the best thing and we should avoid situations like that. But just for a short period of time, I highly recommend using the high performance mode. For now, I'll get back into balanced though. Okay, let's get back and let's click on the apps. Now let's click on the app management. And in here, simply, if you have some of the apps that you are not using, simply uninstall them. But be aware that some of those apps on that list are the system apps and uninstalling them is impossible. And don't try to force stop them, for example, because something bad may happen to your device and you should avoid situations like that. But if you have, for example, games, in my case I have Blockbust, I'm not playing that game, so I can easily uninstall it because it's only taking my storage space away. And sometimes that may be the problem why your device isn't working fast, because simply you don't have enough storage space. Also, there's a fastest way of uninstalling the apps, and it's from the level of our home screen or from the level of the app drawer. So in here, for example, I have Bubble Pop, that's another game. To uninstall it, simply hold on the icon and click on the uninstall button. Just like that. That is much faster way. But let's get back into the app management, for example, because in certain apps we have possibility to clear cache. In my case, it will be the Chrome app, my browser. To clear the cache, we need to click on storage usage, and down below we have our cache. In my case, it's not that much, only 23 megabytes, but I can easily clear that from time to time, of course. And don't worry, clearing cache won't delete any of your data. Cache is basically the junk files that are simply stacked in the memory of our device, and clearing them is completely okay, and it's even recommended to do from time to time. So it's worth doing. Also, for the best performance and the smoothest animations, actually, let's make sure that we are using the high refresh rate. To do it, open up display and brightness, scroll down and find screen refresh rate. Simply tap on that. You can select the auto select mode. Automatically uses the optimal refresh rate for your device to bring you a conscious smooth experience and conserve battery power. But if you want to have 120 Hz refresh rate all the time, you can select the high. It is up to you. In my case, I will stick to the auto select. Alright, now let's close it up. Let's close the settings and let's open up the phone manager. Here it is, and sometimes we have possibility to click the optimize button. So let's do it. In my case, I have that possibility, so I'm about to do it. Alright, now our device is running with the best performance possible. All of the junk files that were stacked on our device has been cleaned. We can click on done, but we also have the recommended optimizations. We can perform a storage cleanup, so let's click on go. Alright, in here I have almost 300 megabytes of junk files that are available to delete, so let's clean them. Boom. It's really worth doing from time to time. Down below we have the system boost, so let's tap on that. Okay, everything is optimized, so we can click on done, click on done again, and now our device is working in the best way. Also, during day-to-day use, there's a huge chance that as you open up the recent apps, you have a lot of them opened in the background. And if you are not using those apps, simply manually close them, because they're only taking your RAM away, and that also might be the problem why your device is running slowly, because simply too much apps are opened in the background. So closing them up also may help. And the last thing that I'm about to show you is how to perform a reboot. Basically, during the reboot, our phone rests for a moment, and also the RAM gets freed up. So it's also really worth doing from time to time. To perform a reboot, we need to launch the power menu. We do it by clicking the power button and the volume up button at the same time, just like that. And now, to reboot it, drag this white ball into the restart function. Now release your finger. As you can see, the Oppo logo disappeared, our phone has been turned off, and it will be turned on automatically within a few seconds. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.